very easy after getting a double kill like that to just feel like there is nothing that can stop you at all in the game, but there is a limit. Going to knock on the enemy tier 3 tower with essentially, I think that was a 2-on-4 situation against plenty of damage over time effects to remove refraction is not the play in that situation for QO, so
Resolution.
A little bit too excited there.
To be careful of Nuts with the blink here. He's going to go straight in here. There's a TP from the Lina. Caught in press. I don't know if that's going to help him. He's been glimmer kept up as well. They've dropped a sentry. They've got the vision, but now he's just going to zip straight in. Resolution looking to pick off Febby here. Can he find the kill? No, Febby with the glimmer cape. He's going to be okay. Resolution can't find that kill. Gets himself away. What's he found? He's found Nuts. Nuts, looking for the stone. Resolution actually out of mana here. Nuts should be able to chase this. He's got a blink in a couple of seconds.
He's screwed.
He's got no mana until Yoku is there. Yoku needs to do something to help him. Yoku picking up an Invis Rune, bottling up as well. They've got a Sonic Wave. They should be able to do something if they want to try and fight. There's your Sonic Wave, bringing Nuts slow, but he gets tethered up by Febby. And KP and Nuts, they want to look for more. Moving into the dire jungle here. Relocate. They're going to relocate in for Hodge Nuts with the finger. It's the global finger. And Low Nuts getting low. He's got the cold embrace. He's going to be fine for the time being, but the always want to fly getting picked up by QO, and now Low Dance is going to go down as well. Two heroes falling on the side of Empire, and I've got to say the IO performance has been fantastic this match from Febby.
I was about to say that was a really good play from Empire. The way they bailed out Resolution there was actually really good. Of course, the relocate will catch them on the way back as they thought they were safe. Now their barracks are under attack. I don't know if they can hold this. They have to buy back the Wyvern.
They've got to get him back.
At least to have a chance.
Resolution, he's trying to do it with the Vortex, pulling him, but March leading forward here. He's harassing them back. He's 2 down, tanking the Bristleback. They've got to try and fight around him here. Oh, Lower Dance, 1-2! QO finds the kill. He's going to look for Silent 1-2. It needs the third one. 4-1 maybe. There we go. He's got it. It's a double kill, and now he's going to move in for more. Resolution tries to get back with the stun. The Light Striker res a triple kill for QO on the TA. Now he'll go for the racks here with the back of his team. 3 heroes down on the side of Empire. None with buyback available. Yoku. Yeah, I was going to say you want to blink away from that one. They're going to look towards the tier 3 in the mid. And Empire just falling apart at this point. This could be the winning push from MVP. Or at least a very damaging one if they find a further set of racks.
It's going to take pretty much a miracle at this point for Empire to be able to hold their base. They're going to lose.
Oh, he's got it! He's got it! GG! Save him! Save the Witch Doctor's humility! Don't put him up against this anymore. It's over. MVP take game 1 in an incredible fashion, Sin.
That was absolutely phenomenal. I personally feel like Empire had a really good draft against them. So they flat out just got outplayed. They lost their mid lane really hard, and MVP just, you know, this is what I was saying. They're playing like a team that has so much confidence. QO had, in some cases, had like too much confidence, but overall, just very, very solid aggressive play here from MVP. And Empire, they're 1 loss away from elimination at this point. Going into this tournament, I think a lot of people were expecting good results from them, so they have to pull it together here to get back in game number 2 and, of course, have a shot at game number 3. MVP, on the other hand,
yeah, rightfully so. That's big cheer here for Phoenix after that performance.
I could have said something there, but that was a better explanation from the audience.
I pretty much summed up game 1 there and the audience reaction. I can't wait for game 2. Because, well, we'll see what Empire have to answer for that. I'm sure they're going to have something. I don't doubt them at all. But we're going to head over to the analysts to see what they have to say about QO and his team's stellar performance.
An absolute wonderful performance by QO. It was highlighted before, Alan. You highlighted how great his statistics were, and his statistics were great again, but he proved even more than that in that game. And also, Melina as well, I want to talk about the draft because you picked it out, this combination that they picked and how great it was, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, I felt like they concentrated a lot on dealing with the Wisp and just not with the TA at all. And it was like a 3v1 situation with that Aegis, and she just went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the good part for them was that they picked Wisp Bristleback really early, and 3 heroes at least felt like they were, you know, dedicated to counter the Wisp, which ended up being, you know, fine. You killed the Wisp. He was 2, 5, and 7. But as March previously showed, they don't care about it if you're going to have a fun game. It's about winning, and TA was not being stopped.
And this is it's just MVP's recipe for success. They draft really good team-oriented lineups. They play very well as 5, and at the end of the day, I mean, QO just goes ham. That was one of the more unbelievable individual performances we've seen so far in this event.
Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from the game as well. We'll go back to around about 14 minutes to start things off. And Malini, take us through.
Tanky enough, that's the question. Jumping straight in, they're looking for
All
Silent, that burst him down. Doesn't get the
Waka?
chance to use the mech. Fantastic
Well,
initiation
I
from
mean,
Phoenix, but now
this
they're
fight
able
was
to
just
kill
very
it.
impressive because they managed to go in, they die immediately with TA, but they still bring it back. Wisp buybacks in this fight, comes back in, and will get a kill later on, helping the Bristleback out. It's just a slaughter really going both ways. Lina does go down here, I believe, as the Storm pursues her with the Queen of Pain's help, but it's after this that the Wisp decides to come back in and help his Bristleback again. And Queen blinks into a tree line, but she just barely dies to the last of the spirits. Camera doesn't actually show it, but that's a 700 gold payout for a Wisp. So, yeah, this is pretty much the story of the game. Just aggression. This is exactly what we expected from these two teams.
Yeah.
I feel like the way they set up so well with the front line. You had the Bristle, you had the TA, both able to take a load of damage. The Wisp was like the medic popping around between the two, and then in the rear you had the artillery. The amount of damage coming out was just ridiculous. I absolutely love that game. QO, we all were jumping around down here watching it. What a game!
Well,
what a game!
Well, why don't we enjoy the QO show again?
Oh, please, yeah.
Should we do that? Because 30 minutes in, this happened.
Care of it, so
OD was losing it.
Yeah, well, I think Alan was losing out here. I wrote a note down on my page. It says OMG.
Yeah, this is a fight that starts, pretty standard, but then something happens where Dire tried to commit on the backline, going for the Wisp again, whereas TA just goes behind and starts hunting down the Storm Spirit at first, and then turns over and keeps chasing people in the backline. And meanwhile, in frontline for Lina, she's also getting kills. So the entire of MVP just doing a good job in this fight. And buybacks coming out from Empire, but as they keep fighting, they realize that running out of mana on Storm is not the best thing to have happen for you. As they start chasing after QO, the last man alive.
But look, there's no panic here from him. You can tell he's like, okay, I'm going to evaluate this. Are there any kills I can pick up? And he immediately thinks, well, maybe the crop.
Yeah, the fact that they don't have detection here really saves his life.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely does. And at this point, he gets the blink away, and he's so strong when he has all the refractions up. Storm uses a really aggressive jump here, which puts him in a terrible spot. He has nothing to do there. And TA just shines.
Oh, man. Oh, it's beautiful. It was beautiful.
Storm was really underfarmed, and they also didn't itemize terribly well for armor. We saw the Ghost Scepter and the Yules out on the Queen of Pain. We saw like a plate mail, but again, when you see like Fear or someone play Razor, he has mech plus Shivas plus AC.
Yeah.
I think when we measured it on the desk, when we're watching the games, during the games, we've got this kind of... It's not a statistical measurement, so don't shoot me down just yet, Nahaz, please. But it's more a feel, and I felt like the QO moment was probably the loudest this desk has got during a match so far. So is that the top piece of play you've seen?
Well, we keep setting records for that, don't we, on this desk today? I mean, these matches just keep getting more and more unbelievable. And yeah, I just brought it up, just sort of staring at the numbers right now, that QO's damage output in that game, he did 26.5k damage to enemy heroes during that match. That's more than twice as much as the next closest hero. That was Razor on the Empire side. And we talked about it before that match. MVP plays so well as a team, it just frees QO up to do so many things. You have to address his hero.
Yeah. We're getting ready for the second game, but where does this leave Team Empire, Wagger?
Well, I mean, they're shook after this. MVP first taking down Newbie and now also coming in showing more strength. Empire, they're coming off a loss into this, and losing the first game as well, that can really hurt your momentum. So I hope they have something repaired in this case, bring out something new, because playing the same style, I actually think MVP are really happy to just have the full-on aggression. I think Empire can out-farm them if they manage to slow the game down.
I mean, you guys were saying that Empire picked a draft to counter MVPs, and they still lost. And QO absolutely destroyed them. That's one of the best single performances we've seen in this TI. I mean, and like Alan said, it wasn't actually just QO. The team performance was amazing. So do Empire still try and fight, or do they go and farm? Like, what do you do now as a reaction?
I think they took a drafting fall, honestly, because they started countering really hard, picking the Winter Wyvern first and into Witch Doctor, just really working in the early off, showing your supports to counter the Wisp. And then they just got kind of exposed for a Lion and Lina combination, where they had so much to just burst anyone who gets frozen. Like, we didn't see anyone get cold embraced and live in this game, pretty much. I mean, we may have seen one guy live from that. But normally that can be a very tough spell to deal with, not for the MVP lineup.
Ben, what were your overall feelings for Team Empire in that last game?
I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult to handle an IO and Wisp. I feel like IO and Bristleback, if that combination were stronger, then more teams would be picking it. But at the same time, no one's really been able to counter it. And we saw the Winter Wyvern plus the Witch Doctor that's generally pretty good. Maybe they're not picking the right heroes. Again, we thought the Timbersaw would have been a really good pickup for them. But right now for Team Empire, they can probably just go fairly heavy team fight. Like I'm thinking like Magnus, Shaker, and then some more. That might be a little bit better because it seems like Phoenix has them beat at their own game.
Do you think the reason that people aren't picking the Bristle and the IO, because traditionally, you have your Tiny IO, because it's easy for Tiny to in the relocate to get a kill, whereas Bristle isn't really about that sort of burst. He's more about running and fighting and fighting and fighting. So do they maybe think, well, there's no point really worrying about it too much. It's strong in lane and it's good in the team fights, but it's not like that terrifying relocate with Tiny. Sorry, Nahan.
But no, that's what I actually wanted to answer your question, because I thought like they actually had the best of both worlds in that draft. They had the Bristle and the Wisp, which is just this amazingly strong team fight presence when you're playing as 5. But they also have 3 heroes. They have the Lion and the Lena that can relocate in with the Wisp and burst somebody down, similar to how Tiny would work with his combo. Right. So I thought, in a way, you got the best of both worlds in that draft. I really think if there's a common theme emerging in a lot of these draft discussions, some of these teams are giving away a lot of information really early on in their draft. We saw that with Secret. We saw that with Empire. And I really look for Empire, a veteran team with a deep hero pool, to diversify that draft going into the next game.
Pretty much it. I think MVP also gained a lot from the fact that, it's not that teams have never played against Wisp and Bristleback as a combination before. It's just that it's not something people do usually anymore. It was really trending roughly like 5+ months ago. It was run a lot. But now teams have kind of, lost track of how to deal with that effectively, maybe not so updated on that anymore. And, of course, MVP, they have played this for a much longer time than 5 months. They've always liked this combo.
Yeah, I think that was the key thing that Alan said at the very beginning of the game. They love that combination, so they're going to know it inside out. And then, like you said, maybe